It's 3 a.m., pager duty is screaming, production database 01 is at 98% CPU. The application team is on the bridge call asking when it will be back. You have 10 minutes before someone wakes the CIO. In the next 35 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact 7-step workflow I use to go from a CPU alert to a documented verified fix using nothing but AWR, ASH, and standard Oracle 19C tooling. No third party agents, no guesswork. I'm your host from DB Nexus. Let's troubleshoot. Quick context, this video is for level 2, level 3, and senior database administrators. If you have ever joined a bridge call mid incident and had to act fast, this is the muscle memory you need. By the end, you will have 5 things in your toolbox. 1. How to spot CPU symptoms at the operating system layer. 2. How to find the top sessions inside Oracle. 3. How to generate and actually read an AWR report. 4. How to drill into ASH for the exact 5-minute spike. And 5. How to apply and verify the fix. Stick around to the end. I will show you the one mistake I see junior database administrators make on every single CPU incident. Here's the scenario. Production database 01, a 3-node 19C real application clusters database. CPU pegged at 98%. Application login screens timing out. Batch jobs running 4 times slower. The listener is still responding. The database is still up. It started 20 minutes ago. No recent deployment. Before we touch anything, let me tell you what not to do. Do not restart the database. Restarting hides the evidence, it does not fix anything, and if the workload comes back, so does the problem. Do not start killing sessions randomly. You might kill the wrong one and break the application. Do not blame the developers in the first 5 minutes. You do not have the data yet. And please, do not skip AWR and go straight to OEM screens. OEM is great for an overview, but the actual evidence lives in AWR and ASH. Rule number 1, and write this on a sticky note above your monitor. Capture evidence first, act second. Now your toolkit. 4 tools, 4 different purposes. You don't pick one, you use all 4. V$ session is your real-time X-ray. Who is running what right now, what they are waiting on. A live snapshot. AWR, the automatic workload repository, is your historical narrator. Workload averaged over a window, usually 1 hour. Great for trends, not great for spikes. ASH, active session history, is your forensic camera. It samples every 1 second. This is how you zoom into a 5-minute spike that AWR averaged out. An SQL monitor is your microscope for one specific long-running statement. It shows you exactly what each operation in the plan is doing in real time. Each tool answers a different question. Use them together. Step 0. Reproduce. I'm going to reproduce this on my lab database so you can follow along on your test system. Pause the video here. SSH to your 19C sandbox and rebuild what I'm about to show you. I will create a 5 million row table with no index. Then I will run a deliberately bad query, one that uses the modulo function on the indexed column. So the optimizer cannot use any index even if I add one normally. I will run that query in 5 parallel sessions, and that is enough to peg the CPU on a 4-core lab box. That is our patient. Now let's diagnose. Step 1. Verify at the operating system layer. First mistake database administrators make. They assume the CPU load is Oracle's. Always rule out backups, antivirus, kernel processes, runaway shell scripts. Run top, run vmstat, run mpstat. Look at the user CPU percentage. If it is above 80% and the top processes on the box are called Oracle, now you know the database is the culprit. Now, the trick that most junior database administrators forget. Take the operating system process ID from top and map it back to an Oracle session. Join $$ session to $$ process on the address column. Filter on the SPID you noted. That gives you the session ID, the serial number, the username, the SQL ID it is running, and the wait event. From here, you know exactly which Oracle session that one operating system process belongs to. Step 2. Find the top CPU sessions inside Oracle. Now we go inside the database. V$ session joined to V$ sesstat gives us the top CPU burners right now. Read the output carefully. You are looking for patterns. Same SQL ID repeating across multiple sessions. That is one bad query with multiple sessions stuck on it. A highly likely culprit. Different SQL IDs but the same module. That is an application server runaway loop. Talk to the application team. Wait event equals latch, cache buffers chains. That is hot block contention, not raw CPU. Different problem, different fix. Wait event equals on CPU or CPU quantum, pure CPU burner. Dig into the plan. In our lab, we will see 5 sessions all on the same SQL ID. That is your smoking gun. Step 3. Generate the AWR report. Run awrrpt.sql from rdbms/admin. Pick HTML format. Pick the snapshot ID from just before the spike to right now. Save it. Open it in a browser. The AWR is 60 pages long. You do not need to read all of it. 6 sections to read first, in this order. Section 1. Load profile. Look at database CPU per second divided by the number of cores. If that ratio is above 1, your database is asking for more CPU than the operating system can give it. Section 2. Top 10 foreground events. If database CPU is at the top of that list, it is confirmed. CPU is the bottleneck. Section 3. SQL ordered by CPU time. Anything about 20% of total CPU is your suspect. Note the SQL ID. Section 4. SQL ordered by executions. This catches runaway loops. SQL that is not slow per execution but is being executed millions of times. Section 5. Time model statistics. Compare database CPU to parse time and hard parse time. Lots of hard parsing is its own problem. Section 6. Instance activity. Logical reads, physical reads. High logical reads with low physical reads is the classic buffer gets burning CPU signature. Skip everything else for now. Those 6 sections solve 80% of CPU incidents. Step 4. Drill into H. AWR averages over an hour, but your spike was 5 minutes. 5 minutes inside a 1 hour window gets washed out by the other 55 minutes of normal traffic. That is where AH comes in. AH samples every 1 second. So we can zoom into the exact 5-minute window. Query V$ active session history, group by SQL ID. Filter on session state equals on CPU, order by sample count descending. That gives you the top 10 SQL IDs by sample count in the last 15 minutes. 300 samples means 300 seconds of work. For a full historical AH report, run ashrpt.sql. For a targeted view by SQL ID or by session ID, run ashrpti.sql. I tend to use the targeted version when I already know the SQL ID from AWR. Step 5. Confirm the culprit. Got the SQL ID? Pull the actual execution plan. dbm plan.display cursor with format quote, all stats last plus peaked binds, end quote. Now look for red flags. Table access full on a huge table where an index exists, bad. Nested loops where outer rows times inner rows multiplies out of control, bad. Hash join with temp space in gigabytes, you're spilling to disk, bad. A rows versus E rows off by a factor of 1000 or more, the optimizer was working with bad statistics, bad and fixable. Buffer gets per row greater than 10, excessive logical input output. That is CPU burned, reading the same buffer cache blocks over and over. In our lab demo, you will see table access full on T underscore CPU with 5 million rows and an A rows count that is the entire table. That is the smoking gun. Step 6. Apply the fix. 4 paths to the fix in order of escalating commitment. Path A. Quick relief. Alter system, kill session. This buys you time on the bridge call. It does not fix anything. The next session that runs this SQL will hit the same wall. Path B, plan flip recovery. If this SQL had a good plan yesterday and a bad plan today, that is a plan flip. Use SQL Plan Management (SPM) to load the good plan from cursor cache or from AWR history. Lock it in as a baseline. The optimizer will use it going forward. Path C, SQL profile from Tuning Advisor. Run SQL trpt.sql with the SQL ID. The tuning advisor will recommend a profile that nudges the optimizer toward the better plan. Accept it. Path D, the real fix. Add the missing index, rewrite the SQL, update the statistics. In our lab, that means adding a function based index on modulo of ID and 7 and gathering stats so the optimizer can use it. In production, my usual order is A, then B, then D. Path C is for when you cannot change the SQL because the application vendor controls it. Step 7, verify. The fix is not done until you have proven it. Take a new AWR snapshot. Run the AWR Diff report, AWR ddrpt.sql, which compares two windows side by side. You should see database CPU per second drop dramatically. Query $SQL for your SQL ID. Confirm the plan hash value is the new one. Confirm seconds per execution has dropped. And then, and this is the part most database administrators skip, document it. For your team, for yourself, for the next person on call. Timestamps. When did the alert fire? When did you confirm root cause? When did you apply the fix? When was the system recovered? A one-line root cause. Plan flip on SQL ID, XXXX caused, full table scan on T underscore CPU, evidence attached. AWR before, ASH. Plan output, AWR after. Preventive action, SPM baseline plus index. Jira ticket created for the application team to review the underlying query. That is a complete incident package, audit proof. The 5 takeaways. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember these 5 things. 1. Operating system first, Oracle second. Always confirm the CPU load is Oracle's before you tune anything in the database. 2. Evidence beats action. Capture AWR and ASH before you restart or kill anything. Evidence is non-recoverable once you wipe it. 3. AWR for trend, ASH for the spike. Different tools for different time windows. 4. Plan flips cause 60% of the CPU incidents I see. SPM baselines prevent them from coming back. 5. If you cannot reproduce it, you cannot fix it. Build a CPU burn lab on a sandbox. Practice this workflow monthly. The first time you do it on a real production incident should not be the first time you have ever done it. 3 things take 5 seconds and help this channel a lot. 1. Smash the like button. It tells YouTube to show this video to other database administrators who need it. 2. Subscribe and ring the bell. Episode 2 drops next Tuesday. Slow query hell. Fixing bad execution plans in production. 3. Drop your worst ever CPU incident in the comments. The best story will get covered live in a future episode. And if you or your team need formal Oracle Database Administrator training or consulting, the channel is DB Nexus Training and Consulting. Email and phone are in the description below. Coming up next Tuesday, Episode 2, Slow Query Hell, Fixing Bad Execution Plans in Production. We will cover cardinality misestimates and how to spot them, when bind peaking betrays you and how to disable it safely, and SQL plan baselines, the production safe way to lock in a good plan. Until then, keep your AWR snapshots fresh, your indexes fresh, and your on-call calm. This was DB Nexus. See you Tuesday.